Hey, Papi, you know what really grinds my gears?
What grinds your gears, sir?
3-star fucking Kizuna, bro. We're gonna fucking send it in this video. You can go to the moon, dude. I don't even care. But this is
my favorite kind of content to make. Ripping into OPTC. I love it.
well, it's not even ripping into OPTC, I guess. More ripping into Bandai because, like, if those of you that don't know, which I feel like everyone knows at this particular point, the Kizuna problem is a big one. It's
huge.
It's a very big one.
Yes.
If we just quickly, before we dive into what we're here to talk about today, let's just take a quick look at the rankings of
Oh no!
Super Boss.
Don't do that.
On day 3, by the way. We got Boone, and by the way, this is not a video to put shit on players. Like, these people that I'm about to read out, please don't take this personally. Like, this is more power to you if you want to do this many runs.
If you do take it personally, you can hold that. That's
Facts,
on you.
honestly, yeah.
That's
like,
on you.
And, like, I got a lot of love for some of these people we're going to talk about, too. So if you get offended, I apologize, but if you, look, it's not the intention, but if the shoe fits. Booned on 821 runs. And not only 821 runs, and same with Houts here, let's give a shout out for the fact they've done 113 assists as well. Like,
yeah, that's facts.
That's crazy, man. Like, that's very wild. Houts is on 676. We got Chaozu on 650. Aliens on 633. Two Shanks on 600. Like, I'm not going to read these numbers out, but, like, we're still in the 500s and we're in the top 10. Like, this is nuts. Like,
yeah.
If you guys have a job, like, please let me know. And whatever job you have, can you send me, like, a link to where I put my resume in?
That job.
Because that's
time to play Jojo Cruise this much, you know?
Wild, right?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
If for those of you guys that don't know this, the 3-star strat has taken Swarm, and look, shout out to Tony. We'll give him his moment in the sun.
Give him his time in the limelight. He loves a little bit of a shout out.
He does, and he loves every time you bring up the 3-star strat, you got to mention his name. He was the one that did it first, and now everyone's doing it. And sure, you're probably gonna sit there and say, "But Stump, this is your fault. Like, this is you let it happen or not." But at the end of the day, like, I'm not. Like, Tony did 420 runs, and we're in the top 20, and they're well over 420 runs. This is a problem. That's embedded within Bandai not giving a fuck and just saying, hey, you guys want to spend all your resources, go for gold.
Yes.
But it just killed the game mode. Like, the game mode's completely dead. Because at the end of the day, no one's touching Super Boss and it's labeled Super Boss Kizuna. So the idea of the strat is basically it takes less resources to run the 3-star variation than it does to run the 10-star. It takes 8 tokens to dive in, compared to 20 tokens, and eventually, if you do those obscene numbers that we just saw on the screen, eventually the HP threshold will reach higher than what the max threshold is for a Super Boss. And I've got our Super Boss up right now. We're at level 48, and it does hit the max threshold at 30. So we've done 18 Super Bosses since the max threshold. That's the same as doing 18 3-star runs after level 100, 350. Which is crazy when we go back to these alliances, right? And we've gone back to this ranking, and we look at something like, who was first? Boone, who's done 820 runs. That's well over 500 Super Bosses, just with him alone. Like,
so Boone himself would have roughly, like, this is according to, like, our calcs, like 484 billion points. Like, and you compare that to how many Super Bosses that would take to keep up with that. Look, it's a bit of a cause for concern. Now, I just want to start off with some numbers, because you know me, I love data. So the maximum threshold for the 3-star is 357 runs. And what we mean by the maximum threshold, we mean the maximum amount of HP, which ends up being 1 trillion, because that's the cap, right? It's 357 runs. The cap for the 10-star variant is 181 runs. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, you get to the cap earlier with the 10-star run, right? Fair enough. It's almost double the amount of runs required to get to them 3-star. However, on the 3-star, at 357 runs, that's a total of 21 billion points. On the 10-star, that is a total of 16 billion points. Okay, negligible amounts of points, right? But it's now you get into the granular aspect. to get to 357 runs on the 3-star is 38 potions. To get to that on the 10-star is 51 potions. That's a huge difference, especially in terms of the pure simplicity of running that 3-star is very mind-numbing in the sense of like it is like one team that just thrashes everything because all the debuffs are very minimal, so it's easier. Whereas 10-star, I don't know how many people are hitting 1 trillion damage on the 10-star fight, and if you are, you've got something cooking up in your cranium,
sir.
You know? So, that's kind of like that's the concern that we're lying here. We're not lying at the concern of people actually doing the strat. I mean, if it's like broken and it works, like just run it. But it's the concern of like what Stump and I discussed like a couple days ago is like Kizuna in theory is like unfortunately becoming like the worst game mode, which is kind of crazy to say when in the past couple years we've seen that Kizuna has been like the best game mode and the one that people actually enjoy competing in. So I don't know, it's a very interesting perspective to have now.
Yeah, it's kind of taken a wild turn. Because like you said, the team that does 3-star, it's literally a one team versus all. It does 1 trillion damage. It uses all the big Donnies of Gear 5 and Zora Sanji, all those Rainbow Dash units that everyone goes for. And
yes,
you just end up binking it like by yourself. And if you can't bink it by yourself, you just have your 9 other alliance members clean up the scraps for you, which again goes into your alliance ranking, which I did bring up. Like AF's alliance is like double the points of TRA, who's second.
Yes.
Because everyone's doing this strat. So this, like I said, it's not the player's problem. It's not so much the community as a whole, even though like I just think if everyone did like less runs and finished at the same number, like we could all collate or whatever. But at the end of the day, like competition's competition. People like to brag. People like to flex.
Yep.
But like this stuff that Papi was just talking about, I had up on screen as well, like with these numbers. Like this is kind of nuts. And if like as a game developer, sure, like you got to line your pockets or do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, surely there's got to be some sort of pride in the fact that you've made a decent game and there's correct scaling about it, and people are invested and they're stimulated. Because at the end of the day, if you're running 3-stars, you're not stimulated. Like you're literally taking 4 days off and just playing the game, the same thing over and over and over and over again. And it's just repetition for the fact that you guys could say that you got the most runs and you got the highest points. And again, more power to you. Like it's no hindrance on the actual players themselves, but like surely Bandai has to stop for a second and go, well, hang on. What's the point of having these harder, difficult events if they're not actually giving something that's better than what the lower star events actually are?
Yeah.
So today, we're not only just going to rant about the fact that Kizuna, like Papi said, has become the worst game mode. Honestly, like Super Boss has always been the most fun for me, and I'm still having fun playing the Super Boss. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely right.
I'm still doing my thing, still hitting the Super Boss, and actually enjoying the game that we play. Because at the end of the day, it's a game. Like it's enjoyable.
Puzzle game. That's what it's meant to be, right? At the end of the day, it was always meant to be a puzzle game. Now it's a game about efficiency. That's Captain Papi quote right there. Keep that in your history books. I've been saying that for years. Trade Crew started off as a game about puzzles, about solving problems, and whilst we can still do that, the game is I guess the paradigm shift, if you want to get nice words in that. The paradigm shift has changed perspectives to being a game about efficiency, which is like front and center in this set right now, because there is no essence of like, for example, like, I'm going to give Porky some respect right now. Porky's probably one of the best team builders in Treasure Cruise period at the moment, is what I'd argue, per se. And he's, like, been helping me build Super Boss teams that I can use, and it's been this really cool perspective watching him be like, try this, and then do this, then rearrange this, and same as Stump has been helping, like, hey, the meme of Papi gets all his teams from Stump is actually very true. It's this cool perspective of watching these guys, like, try to solve puzzles, and it's like, okay, what are the pieces that I have that can solve the problem as well? But what's changed now is that fuck the puzzle, print the picture out off the internet, stick it up. It's the same thing, right? You don't have to solve nothing anymore. It's one team rolls through everything, Like, and even I want to jump back to those numbers again, for example. Like, if you want to get more data specific, like, the points per token at getting to max HP on the 3-star is 7.6 million. And then the points per token to getting to max HP on 10 stars, 4.5 million. So almost like a 1.6x increase on the 3-star in terms of how much more efficient it is. And then on top of that, the points per potion is almost like 1.6, 1.7x as well. So like, if we're talking about like Treasure Cruise being a puzzle game, no. Treasure Cruise is now a game about efficiency. And right now, in the particular climate, 3 stars is the most efficient way to earn your points and earn ranking, which, for better or worse, I don't know, I still haven't decided yet, is kind of the end-all be-all of Treasure Cruise, is just ranking. And it's bounty, and it's showing off, and which is fine, I suppose. I don't like it personally, but when you have a game that has pushed the agenda forward so much of like, almost every single thing you do, you are going to be compared to the people around you, it makes sense why we're in a perspective where ranking is so important and people are coming up with newfound ways to push the agenda, push the envelope to like get the edge, which in turn is efficiency.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually forgot that I actually had this up and I started talking to Krooby. So I apologize for that message. That was great. But this is the team that we're talking about in terms of that one team to sort of verse all. And it's ironic because I made a video about the 3-star strat at the end of the last Super Boss Kazuna. And people are still using this exact same team. It's hilarious.
Which is crazy, right? The fact that like that team is being able to be copy and pasted into the next bit of content that
2 months later,
that is meant to be different than the previous bit of content.
So at the end of the day, it's like, what was the point of all those characters you released? What was the point of all those celebrations?
I should have just spent all my money and gems on New Year's and all that kind of stuff. Got all those units maxed out, and then, you know, obviously that's hindsight and reality, right? But it's like, from that perspective, it's like, why would I pull on half Annie? Or why would I pull on, let's say, Worldwide Annie? Like, Worldwide Annie, in my opinion, is a flop. Like, it's a massive flop in its entirety, again, because none of the Annie units matter in this content. It's even like when you look at the Super Boss teams, right? It's the same units. Yamato, you have Zanji, Rodin, Gear 5 is still around, you know, like, those units still exist, and they're still doing more damage than the newer units, and it's like, surely there's a problem there, right? Like, surely, like, they need to start conceiving of, like, where they're really creating a situation where there's no reason to pull other than JP Annie and New Year's, genuinely speaking. Like, it's becoming more and more evident in that capacity where it's going to be much more boring to play the game, but you're gonna have the edge on most players if you spend 3,000-4,000 gems on New Year's and anniversary, as opposed to trying to pull for every single legend. It's a ridiculous idea, but like, it just seems like that's what they're trying to push, which doesn't make much sense in reality.
Especially when they create a piece of content that is looking like what the 10-star actually is. Like, honestly, I'm not even blaming people for going for 3 stars. Like, it has to be there for a reason. It's meant to be there for newer players. It's meant to be there for people that are still establishing their accounts and their boxes. Yep. But, like, if we look at the 10-star quest guide, which, honestly, again, shout out to Bandai for actually finally implementing this quest guide stuff. But give us more teams, for crying out loud. God damn. But, like, the gimmicks we have to get around for the 10-star, this one especially has been by far the worst.
It was. I agree.
The gimmicks they want us to get around are so disgustingly niche, and they're so catered towards that new batch. And I guess you could sit there and say, well, the new batch is so good for the 10-star. It doesn't really matter because no one's running it anyway. But when they make content that looks like this, it does seem like, okay, well, why would I not just go to the 3-star, right? I can use the characters that I invested in, and that way I don't have to worry about it too much, and we can all just move on from there. But
absolutely,
again, as a game developer, surely there's some sort of pride factor that comes in that says, we've made a piece of content that is still enjoyable for people to build for, enjoyable for people to play, and not so catered towards the people that are spending their gems or money or whatever you guys are doing to get said characters. Because it's wild. And then if we look at the Super Boss, right? Like the Super Boss.
Don't even talk to me about the Super Boss.
The Dex one especially, man, is really, really, really rough. Like even with the all the units, you're looking at like 300 something billion damage.
300 bill, which is a lot.
It's still a lot, yeah.
It's a lot. But when you look at the last like 3 or 4 super bosses, 1 trill. Like that was very easily accessible.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was with all the new units, and that was with all that sort of stuff. But this is 300 something billion with everything like maxed out. Like I've got my Blackbeard at 150 now with Limit Break expansion and max Super Tandem. And the team's still not even coming close to something like what this team is doing on screen, and what it was doing at Anniversary as well. So, kind of just, it's mind-boggling why they want to just nerf, or strengthen something so much and nerf damage, but then still have this particular strategy that everyone could just avoid it anyway. So what was the point of putting so much work and energy and mind thought into making such a specific and niche piece of content that no one's doing anyway?
Now, I'll play devil's advocate. Obviously, this wasn't the intention. They're not, like, Bandai's not... I would bet a lot of money on saying that Bandai's intention wasn't for people to run this 3-star to an exorbitant extent. But the thing that I find so interesting is how they handle the points, right? Because it doesn't matter whether you're running 3-star, 7-star, or 10-star. All your points are divided by 1,000 no matter what. And now you might think, oh, but because the HP of the bosses is lower on the... Or like, it scales up less or whatever your case may be for the lower stars, that's why 10 stars preferred. It's actually... it's irrelevant because you can access those HP points a lot easier through those lower levels. But the interesting perspective of this is that in... almost every other bit of content where Bandai has multiple difficulties, the other difficulties are punished severely. Take Blitz Battle, for example. If you run the 20 stam Blitz Battle, you get 2 drops.
And it's normally collar.
Exactly, and it's normally collar, which, hey, in this climate, they're pretty decent, to be fair. But but like, in the 40 stam, you're getting... limit break materials, tomes, you're getting manuals, you're getting potentially like almost like a 10x point difference, right? And then even you want to break it back even further, take raids, for example, arenas, Colosseum. Running lower stam, you couldn't get the drops of the units, they weren't guaranteed. It was lower chances. You might not even get the chance to drop the unit. So like, you are essentially what I say punished, but obviously it's they want this like scaling factor of a new player comes in, tries to clear the lower stams, and then once they build up their box or their account, then they can go and clear the high stams. But for some reason, there is no difference in points when it comes to 3, 7, and 10. It's just how much HP does the boss have? And then that determines the points. But when you can get to max HP, which this is the big problem here, is that when you get to max HP, the points are the same across the board. It doesn't matter. You're earning the same amount of points regardless. So, I don't... do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why they've chosen to be like, oh, we're just going to divide everything by 1,000 across all difficulties. It's like, surely you would have a different kind of scaling, or like, I think in the past I've said divide 3-star by 10,000, 7-star by 5,000, and then 7-star by 5,000 and 10-star by 1,000.
Well, that was gonna be my next question. What's the fix here? Like, how do they go about this by not even changing, like having to make 10 stars easier, making 3 stars harder? They drastically nerfed ticket gains, and I'm gonna use this as an example of what I think they can
do.
Let's go back. What super boss was it? Was it
the one that was the glitch one? Where
the glitch one. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was the Doflamingo one, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. It was Doflamingo, if I remember correctly.
So we called it Ticket Valley. For those who are around for Gem Valley and know the reference, let's go.
Let's go.
But Ticket Valley was a glitch in the game that if you broke the ticket threshold, you got basically unlimited Kizuna boxes. And you could just keep opening boxes. And yeah, sure, it didn't really have that much good stuff in it, but what it did have was level up materials, which just meant that people that spent a long time playing the game, had lots of 150 characters, could just easily max their entire box. And it's not necessary to do that, but now with the extra gems you get for 150 legends and stuff like that, it actually became quite valuable. And to mitigate this, Bandai closed down the shop, the ticket pools. And then drastically nerfed the amount of tickets that we get from Super Boss to avoid this happening again.
Yeah.
So, in doing that, all they would have had to do is just, change some numbers in the game to sort of say, instead of you getting 10 tickets every drop, you're not going to get 1 ticket every drop. Why can they just not do that with the point scaling? Surely they can just change the numbers.
Yeah.
So what would an acceptable number be for 10-star in terms of the gains be?
I think, for example, on the tickets thing, the thing that changed was the scaling factor. So it was no longer an exponential. It was, I think it's there's a base value plus the boss you just killed plus 1 or something along those lines, where it's a linear growth. So you're always gonna get the same. There's no exponential. So when people were clearing 300 super bosses, they were earning tens of thousands of tickets per clear, pretty much. And then it changed to being a very linear, oh, you've cleared level 300, oh, here's 362 tickets or something along those lines. It's a very, you can, I think, I remember there was an Excel sheet where, I think a couple of the German players had figured out. But, on your question, I have changed the Excel sheet, which you may or may not have up, but, for example, so I've just changed the scaling factor to let's say, so the first start here on the table on the right hand side is level 357 is max HP for 3-star. I've made it divided by 10,000, so that would still give you 2 billion points, right? Which isn't a lot, but 2 billion points. I've then made the 7-star divided by 5,000. Because if you look at 3 to 7 is what? A 2.2x increase, whatever it is, from the numbers 3 to 7. Okay. Then you get 4 billion. So now, okay, you have this linearly scaling thing of, I can go from 3 to 7-star and I'm going to earn more points overall. But then I left 10-star at 1,000, which is what it already is, which gives you 16 billion points at level 181, which is fine. Because you want people to do that. Ironically, it actually costs you more points or more potions to do 7-star than 10-star or 3-star. So 7-star is still shit because it costs way too many tokens to run. It's 15 tokens to run 7-star, but 8 tokens to run 3-star. It shouldn't be 15. It should be 12 maybe, and then you could have a better conversation about it. Regardless, look, if you look at the points though. 2 billion points for 3-star, 4 billion points for 7-star, so you're doubling it, and then you're quadrupling it pretty much with going to 10-star. So you have this scaling factor of, I'm a beginner, I'm clearing 3-star, I now have more advanced box, I'm clearing 7-star, and then I now have a more established box, I'm clearing 10-star. That's how I'd do it. Or you could even reduce the numbers. Make, for example, 3-star divided by 5,000 instead. Okay, what does that leave us with? 4.3 billion points. Make 7-star divided by 2.5k. 8.4 billion points, right? And then make 10-star divided by 1,000. You have these options and it's very easy fixes. Very easy fixes. It's literally probably, I would assume it's probably it's either changing 2 static values or it's creating 2 new variables and just adding them into the lines of code for how the HP or the points are calculated. Very straightforward fix. And I think if Bandai doesn't see this, especially with their eyes on World Cruise, it doesn't see this and think oh, this is a problem for the integrity of the game. And I mean, that's a funny word to throw around, integrity, after, all the conversations about Pirate Rumble and defense feeding and cheating and anti-cheating, right? I'm not mentioning names, I'm just mentioning comments.
Yes,
but but I think the integrity of the games, I mean, look, if I'm going to be frank with you, I don't give a shit. I could care less. I go about Super Boss how I go about it. Stump goes about it the way he wants to go about it. We don't really... If you want to keep burning your potions and burning a hole in your pocket, more power to you, right?
Absolutely. But even so...
What it does...
Go on.
It just makes the game less... Like, when Stump said, hey, check the top 100 before we start recording, I was like, oh, I'm on it. What the fuck is going on, dude? Like, it was mental. But that's how I'd fix it. I'd just increase... decrease, I suppose, how many points you earn from the other difficulties.
But this is also talking that we're also just talking with your regular personal now. Like, this is also not even taking the Super Boss into consideration, right? Because that's what the event's called. It's a Super Boss Kizuna. So we're looking at these 3 stars and 7 stars and 10 stars, and everyone doing these exorbitant amount of runs to get personal ranking. However, there is the Super Boss that is sitting right there. So why not make that Super Boss run, which everyone's going for with extra drops from stuff like the Toby Ropo and Hawkins? It actually makes those units now viable because they want people to summon for them. Why not make the Super Boss such an exorbitant increase in points?
Yeah. I think the reason why they don't do that is because, genuinely speaking, it's a lot easier to get the Super Boss to max HP than it is to get your own personal ranking to max HP.
But at the same time, what I'm saying is like, the argument will stand that they can line their pockets, they can get people to buy all the potions and just spam them on 3 stars. But if they make Super Boss worth so much more points, people are not only going to spend their potions to get more Super Boss tokens, but they're also going to then go buy gems to summon for the units that are going to give them more gains as well. So
Correct.
I think that gets mitigated if people are going to be like, well, of course they're going to just keep, like, they're not going to fix anything, because why would they not? If everyone's going to use 100 potions on 3-star, well, people use 100 potions on 10-star. And...
No, it's correct. It's 100% correct. I think that, like, I off the top of my head, I don't know what Super Boss is the Super Boss also divided by 1,000, or is it divided by a different number?
I think it's exactly the same.
If it's the exact same, I think that what you could do is you could divide it by 500, or divide it by 100 instead, so you get a massive amount of more points, which means, because even prior to 3-star, right, 10 stars was the better play for ranking.
Yeah, once you hit 100, like, people realize, and the reason we initially tried doing this was because we thought, well, what's the point of doing the 10, like the Super Boss anyway, if 10 stars are just going to give you more points? And then we thought, hey, well, why don't we take that same principle and apply it to 3 stars, which is a lot easier to run? And lo and behold, we are here.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, and I think that the fundamental issue is, how do you make Super Boss more valuable for your time, more than anything? And then, because the culture in the community is primarily around rank and notoriety and fame and, you know, bounty and that kind of stuff, it has to be altered to make Super Boss become the competitively viable option for people to do. That's the only solution that really hammers away the 3-star problem, or running 10 stars to max HP. That's kind of the whole lo and behold mentality.
But hang on, Papi. I have to run the 3-star, man, because these rewards, they're just so good. Like, the rewards, man. If I come first, I get 30 gems. Yes.
But actually, the Kizuna is a no gem spending situation, so therefore it's actually pure profit. Pure profit, my balls, man. Kizuna rewards are absolutely dog water. They are horrendous.
So even still, everyone's fighting. Literally, this is a prime example of everyone's just fighting for fame. And again, no throw at the players. Like, this is more power to you. Do what you gotta do.
Run the set. Exactly right.
And it is World Cruise. There's more points. There's but like, we can get the Team Nami's gonna win. Yay! Like, cool. But
yeah, exactly.
That's besides the point. When you go over to the gems, like the gem shop, and you look at how much a potion pack costs. Like, and I'm a culprit of it too. Like, I will definitely, if I'm going to be buying gems, I will buy the Kizuna packs, because I prioritize the Kizuna potions, because they're so scarce. But if you're looking here at 115 gems and 3 potions for 70 Australian dollars, and then 2 for $38.99, and then the next one I believe is 12. you can pick up, I think, like you can pick up a good amount of potions every single month.
20 or 30 a month, I think.
Yeah, so it's like 60 every super boss if you buy out the packs. Which then, again, if you look at the 3-star table that Papi put together, if you then spend...
You buy 60 potions gives you, 519 total runs. 519 runs. If we take it back to the original scoring, is 183 billion points.
Which is about 200 super bosses.
Yeah.
On top of the 350 initial runs. And don't get me wrong, you have to do these 519 runs, which to me is banging your head against the wall if you ask me. But, like, again, you more power to you. But, at the end of the day, I don't think that this is a player problem, but I genuinely think as a game, and if Bandai, if you are listening, if you're watching, because you fucking bet your ass we know you watch,
facts.
Do something about it. I know the JP community is not happy, which is a great sign, because when they're not happy, fucking Bandai's not happy.
Bandai's not happy, yep, very true.
But this just, like, physically cannot continue for not only the integrity of the game, but for the mental state of the community. Because people are going to quit.
People are burning out.
Sorry, say that again?
People are burning out. I cut you off 100%. As well. But, like, people are burning out. Like, it's crazy.
And people get real fucking nasty on day 5 of a no-sleep event where they've been banging their head against the wall, doing 1,000 runs of the same shit over and over and over again. And all it does is just create a more toxic environment. Again, there's no names, no throwing shade that this is already happening. But this is a fear factor that I can see.
It does, because it creates animosity. It creates people hate people.
Turmoil.
It is, and it doesn't make the community a nice place for a new person to step in and say, "Hey, can I get some help?" You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because then everyone's like, "Fuck you, shut up! Like, you don't know anything!" Like, blah 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 blah. And it's just like, bro, like.
But the amount of new players that have come to me, and like, shout out to Brycey, one of my old school players, that's come back to the game. He's like, "Yo, it's like I'll just run the 3-star strat," and I'm like, "No, you won't.
No, you won't.
You don't have the resources, but 2, like, this is not an early game strat. It's just literally shutting down the early players for like trying to run and understand the concept and the build up of the game." So all in all, like I said, I'm still having a lot of fun with Super Boss. Like, we're on 48 Super Bosses. The teams have developed as they usually do from day one. And shout out to Porky, best team builder in OPTC community right now.
I think he is for sure. I think like my last comment on it is about like how many tickets you earn. I haven't calculated that. I don't know what the numbers are in that kind of regard.
Oh, I've got mine up now then. I've got mine up now. So I've done 109. I'm on 109 10-star.
Yep.
And we've done 47 super bosses. I haven't spent a single ticket.
Yep.
12,348.
Okay, so then in total that's 6 box 7s, which means you're going to get a maximum of 12 tablets.
Now, if you go and talk to Boone, his tickets are going to be disgusting because the tickets do increase with the 3-star.
But just like think about like the rewards you get. Like, is it really worth? Like, you're at 12,000 tickets. I think I'm at 3,000 tickets. I've done 20 runs. I've done 20 runs, 22 super bosses, and I think I've done like 40 assists or something like that. Right? Like, I have 3,000 tickets. I'm going to get 2 of each tablet.
Yeah.
Like, is that okay?
No.
Like, no, it's not. That's the issue, is that people, like, I think you did mention it, but like, people are punching their head against the wall to earn like some tablets, man.
Those people are already involved in that bug and have infinite.
Exactly. I have infinite tablets and they all farm and they all like, what are we doing? Like, that's the problem. It's like, I don't want to play this content because I'm going to walk away with like 5 of each tablet. Oh, wow. What an improvement to my account. Oh, didn't they release the rates recently? Yeah, 1 tablet is a 30% chance of hitting. So even if Stump gets his 12 tablets, only 4 of them are going to work. Like, you know, like, that's the concern. That's the problem. If they added in gold tablets to some capacity, like 1 per Kizuna, or they added in
just in box 6,
a boxes, or have a new box 7 where the first time you clear box 7, you give every player 1 of every gold tablet, and then they disappear when you reset the box. tablets. You can't get them anymore. Like, there's a lot of ways they can approach the reward system. Add 10 of each shard or 50 of each shard in box. If they can remove the cola, they can add fucking limit break material. Or they can add
yes, sir.
Or they can add super cola. Or they can do, like, there's so many things that if they add it in super cola and they add it in like gold tablets. So when you, in my mentality is that when you first clear box 7, there should be 1 of each gold tablet and like 5 super cola.
Yeah, I think you just add that to box. Like, you just add that progressively to the boxes.
Or add it to box 6, you know.
So put like one super cola in the first box, 2 in the next, 3 in the next, and then go gold tablet, and then keep box 7 the same. Like, update it so it's a little bit...
Yeah, modernize it. That's it.
More modern, like 5 of each tablet kind of thing. But like, they don't have to go crazy and add like your disgusting tablets. But I think the rewards obviously need to be drastically improved.
It's about modernizing. I think I made a comment in the last couple of weeks about the This is off topic, but that comeback campaign, the rewards from the comeback campaign. Oh boy,
ass, bro!
3 4-star homies.
Yes, sir.
Like, what do we, bro? That campaign is like 6 years old.
Yep.
And it hasn't changed.
But then you look at the new starter banner.
Cracked. But then, hey, throw it back to the World Cruise rewards. Hey, guess what the World Cruise rewards were last year, Stump?
6 gems.
Oh, the exact same.
Yeah.
They haven't changed.
Team that comes first gets what? 6 gems? Or 10 gems?
It's like, what is it? It's like first place team gets 30 gems. Second place gets 29. So it's whatever. I don't care what my team comes. I'm gonna get 26 gems minimum, regardless. You know, which is dope for me. I'm happy. But but it's like you haven't modernized the rewards on your biggest competitive event either.
And at the end of the day, you look at Treasure Map. You look at even PK. Didn't they update as well?
A little bit, yeah. They updated a little bit.
They do make updates to these game modes. So the idea of this video is not to put shit on Kizuna and put shit on the players, like I said at the start, but hopefully it is to draw awareness to what's going on. If they haven't said it already, because like you said, World Cruise is the time for them to sort of stop and go, yo, what the fuck's going on?
What the fuck's going on?
What the fuck is going on? So hopefully they look at Kizuna and they actually make some updates. Because they did say they were going to make updates to the game mode at some point.
Already happened, mate. That was your 8 crew slots, mate.
But but I was gonna say, but what did that entail? That was what did we get?
Jack shit, mate.
We got Kazuna teams though, bro. They're good.
That's it.
We got Kazuna teams.
Yeah. Yes, dude. Yes.
An update that should have come with the treasure map teams. So
yeah, literally, they updated treasure map teams like 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah,
so they probably should have done the same with Kazuna. There's no excuses. There's no excuses.
If anything is taken from this video, is that Papi and Stump are shit cunts to start with, and
normal. That's normal. Though.
2, that fix your fucking game mode. Like, just please. Like, I'm begging you. Like, I'm still having fun with the game mode, and I'm not gonna not play it because I'm boycotting the event and stuff. Because I'm still having fun. But if people are looking at the rankings, like, what the fuck is going on, and why the hell am I so far down? This is why. Is it okay? No.
But
is it gonna change?
Don't start doing it. I'm gonna put the preface out there, please. Don't start just casually running 3 stars for no valid reason. Only run 3 stars if you are going to commit to doing more than 357 runs. That's the only situation you should do it. Plain and simple. Otherwise, do not do the 3-star strat. Period. Because in reality, I'm going to be honest with you, 3-star strat is a pretty selfish endeavor. It only improves in your personal ranking. It reduces the alliance rank due to missing super boss runs. It reduces the amount of tickets that everyone earns. And depending on super boss damage, it's a matter of you don't really, you can increase the alliance ranking when you spend a certain amount of potions after a while. But in reality, 3-star strat is a very, very selfish strategy. Very selfish. Because the whole
point of
boss is that
you go.
It increases the alliance rank when you get to a certain threshold, right?
Yeah.
But the reality of it is that the way that Super Boss is meant to work is that when you kill the Super Boss as a team, all of you earn rewards as a team, you know? And that's the benefit of clearing Super Boss. So you wake up, let's say, like, oh, cool, I've got like another 500 tickets because my alliance killed the Super Boss last night. Yeah. Now it's like, Super Boss is sort of like level 6 or something like that.
And 2 of our alliance members have done 600 runs.
Exactly. And you're like, great.
And we're third.
And I have 23 tickets because I haven't started yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the issue.
And I think that's what it needs to get back to, is bringing your alliance together to take down the super boss. And the super boss is already, like, it's already in a position where it's the gimmicks are hard. Like, it's
not easy.
Like, if you're an endgame player, sure, you're doing good numbers, and if you've invested in the right banners, you're doing good numbers, and obviously if you summon on the banners that they want you to summon on, you're going to do good numbers. But even if you don't, and you are building your account over time, you can still do very good numbers with, like, the New Year's Legends that just came out, and building up your super boss tokens and doing 100 billion damage to take down 10 runs, or get everyone together for the alliance ranking, and the alliance multiplier. Like, that's what the game mode should be about. And I'm hoping that by bringing awareness to this, which, sure, most of the community is already aware of, but this is to try and reach a wider audience, to bring everyone on the same headspace that this is it's just not okay. It's not how things should be. And hopefully we can move away from it moving forward.
Hopefully. And at the end of the day, like, you can't get the community to do something. We've tried a lot of times, and it's not possible.
But again, this is not talking to the community. This is more talking to...
That's, I mean, the only person that
wider
can
OPTC
the only person that can save the day is genuinely Bandai intervening to some capacity and saying, all right, 3-star is now worth a lot less points. And get back to versing the super boss now. That's the only way that I see this problem, unfortunately, being solved.
Very much agreed. Any final thoughts before we go?
We're the worst people alive, probably.
Yeah, we're up there, honestly.
You know, like, bring this to everyone's attention again. And I want to reiterate again, we're not throwing shade. We could freaking care less what you guys do. If you want to burn your potions, more power. Do you so. As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters at the end of the day, right? Like,
yes, sir.
So just enjoy yourself. But that's it from me. I appreciate the time.
That's my final statement as well, that the game mode is becoming less fun for a lot of people, and at the end of the day, this is a game. You play games to have fun.
Yes,
literally why you do it, for enjoyment. And if you're not enjoying it, obviously stop doing it, but make running hard content, feeling satisfied, doing the 10-star and the super boss, just make it worth more.
Absolutely right.
And again, I'm not bummed that we're not going to get top 10 alliance ranking. I'm not bummed that I'm not in the top 100 for world cruise or whatever, because again, I'm still having fun with it. But a lot of people are coming to me saying, hey, Stump, where's this 3-star team, and how do I do this 3-star run? And I'm struggling on the int 10, the int 3-star, trying to save people. But like, that's not where you want to be.
No, that's toxic. That's very toxic. Absolutely.
At the end of the day, have fun with it. I appreciate your time, Papi.
No, thank you for having me. Appreciate it. I love having a little bit of a rant. One of my favorite things to do.
It felt good, man. Honestly, this.
I feel like a weight off my shoulders. I feel relieved.
But if you guys enjoyed the video, build the like button. Hell, if you didn't enjoy the video, hit the dislike button. Swear to God.
Let us know.
More power to you.
No one's going to see him anyway, so who gives a shit?
Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And make sure to head over to Papi's socials. I'll leave them in the description as always.
Thank you very much.
Make sure to hit him with some love. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.